Let's just dive right in. The Commonwealth. We hear the word all the time, but I have to ask, who actually wins from it? Ha 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 ha. That is the question, isn't it, Zane?
It really is.
It's a question that's being asked in so many places. Government buildings in Jamaica, cafes in St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Australia. It's everywhere.
Right.
It feels like one of those things that exists in official speeches at big state events. But does the average person say in Kingston, Jamaica, Grenada, Barbados, Antigua, even Australia? And that's where the debate really starts. On one hand, people argue, quite passionately, that the Commonwealth is a force for good, a helpful club.
Really?
But then you have this other, very strong voice asking, is it mostly just helping the crown, keeping an old system going? And that's what I want to get into today. I want to look at both sides, but without all the shouting. Just lay out the facts. Look at some real-world examples. Let people decide for themselves. I think that's the best way to do it. So, let's start with the official story. The one they want us to hear. What's the sales pitch? Well, the official story is very tidy. It's hopeful. It says the Commonwealth is this unique family of nations. A family? Wow, I hear that word family a lot. A family linked by shared language, shared laws, shared values. And the idea is that they all work together to help each other grow. They hold meetings, they sign agreements, they set up projects for health, for education. So the claim is that it gives smaller nations a louder voice on the world stage. And for some places, that story holds up. They can point to a specific trade deal that helped their economy, or a training program that gave their people new skills. For them, the Commonwealth looks like a useful tool. Okay. But, and this is a big but, for so many other people, those connections feel, well, faint, almost invisible. What do you mean by that? I mean, it's much easier to see the flags and the logos than it is to see real, tangible change in your community. You see the symbols everywhere, but the actual benefits? Not so much. And you have to ask, are the symbols just hiding a less comfortable reality? It's the difference between what's said and what's felt. Exactly. So let's dig into the pro case a bit more. Beyond the official story, what are the concrete benefits that supporters point to? They really focus on two things. Practical help, soft power. They'll say the Commonwealth is a great networking hub, especially for small states to find partners for trade diplomacy. Okay, that makes sense. And then there's the whole royal connection. The soft power. The argument is that a royal visit can bring a huge amount of attention to a local cause or a town. It can drive tourism, business, charity. I remember a few years ago, a royal visited a small conservation project I was following, and suddenly, its funding just exploded. So it's like a global spotlight. It can be. And supporters will say, look, this isn't about perfection. They know there are flaws. They want better budgets, clearer goals. They're asking for reform, not removal. They see it as a tool that could work really well, if it's used wisely. Right. But that's a big if. Which brings us to the critics. What's their take? Where do they say the power and the profit go? The critics look right past the smiles and the handshakes. They're asking, who's controlling the story here? And for them, the answer is pretty clear. The crown and the old colonial elites are the main winners. They point to all the rituals. Things like the governor-general ceremonies in countries where the king is still head of state. To a critic, that's not just a quaint tradition. It's a constant, symbolic reminder of a colonial past that still has influence. It keeps a certain kind of loyalty alive, which often benefits a very small, privileged group. And they follow the money, I assume. Oh, absolutely. They're looking at the cost of royal travel, the upkeep of palaces. And they're asking why public services are being cut while all this pageantry continues. Is wealth still, in subtle ways, flowing from the former colonies back toward the UK? And the media plays a role in this? A huge role. Critics point to the silence. If the press isn't asking these hard questions, if these debates aren't happening out in the open, then power just operates in the shadows. It protects privilege, not people. Let's talk about some of those small things that add up. You mentioned rituals, but what about something like Commonwealth Day? Size. Commonwealth Day is a perfect example. In so many member countries, the day just passes. It's not even a public holiday. It's barely in the news. The people celebrating Commonwealth Day are the British monarchy, the same ones who benefit from the Commonwealth of Nation. Wouldn't you say that is still piracy? That silence, that lack of public engagement tells you a lot about how meaningful it is to the average person. The British monarchy has to painfully play act to keep the funds flowing in, like they are doing real work. And the Commonwealth Games? That seems like a bigger deal. It is, but it's also fragile. They bring a lot of pride, for sure. But we've seen them get cancelled or delayed because of funding issues. I mean, think about the athletes who train for years, and then suddenly the event is gone. It shows where the priorities are, or aren't. So it's a pattern of symbols over substance. It can certainly look that way. So where does that leave us? It sounds like there's truth on both sides. I think that's right. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. For some people, the Commonwealth provides real, tangible help. For others, it's a system that props up old power structures. Both things can be true at the same time. So, is reform even possible? What would that look like? It has to start with transparency. Transparency, local input, guaranteed funding, rewrite rituals, invest in schools and clinics, make the budgets public and easy for citizens to understand. When you plan something like the Games, you need local input and guaranteed funding, not just wishful thinking. And rewrite the rituals? Exactly. Make them serve the civic life of the country, not just the image of a distant monarchy. Make royal visits about local causes with results you can actually measure. Invest in schools and clinics, not just palaces and pageants. So it comes down to us then. To the public, it always does. We have to be the ones to ask our leaders for the budgets, to ask our media to dig deeper. Yes, to demand a real public debate about what these symbols mean, who is actually benefiting. So the final call to action is, what? Judge, ask, act? That's it. Decide for yourself. Does this club help your country, or does it mainly serve old privilege? Then, act on that judgment. Vote right question. Push for the reforms that make it serve the many, not just the few. Because left on its own, it will likely just protect the status quo. Change requires a push. Decide, act, reform. Are we funding the crown?